Do you ever feel like Christmas is slipping away from its true meaning? Between the rush of shopping, the pressure to make everything perfect, and the endless holiday parties, it's easy to forget why we celebrate in the first place. But here's the truth. Christmas is meant to be a time to reflect on Christ's birth, to serve others, and to reconnect with what truly matters. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 things that Christians should never do on Christmas. Things that might be stealing the joy and the purpose of the season from you. Stick around, because these insights could change the way you approach Christmas this year. Christmas is a time of celebration, joy, and reflection. But for many Christians, it can also be a season of distractions, with all the shopping, cooking, and festive gatherings. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the holiday. But what if this Christmas could be different? What if we could rediscover the true meaning of the season and celebrate it in a way that brings us closer to God? In this video, we're going to talk about the 7 things Christians should never do on Christmas. These are things that can easily pull us away from the heart of what Christmas is truly about. We'll explore how to avoid these common pitfalls and make this holiday season a time of worship, reflection, and meaningful connection with those around us. From the dangers of consumerism to the importance of serving others. We'll cover it all. Stick with me, because the changes we discuss could make this Christmas the most spiritually enriching one you've ever had. Let's dive in. The first thing Christians should never do on Christmas is forget the real meaning of the holiday. It's easy to get swept up in the Christmas chaos. Gifts to buy, food to prepare, decorations to hang. But we can't lose sight of the fact that Christmas is about celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. The story of his birth is a reminder of God's incredible love for us, that he sent his Son into the world to bring light into the darkness. The truth is, when we let the festivities overshadow the reason we celebrate, we risk turning Christmas into just another holiday. The commercialized version of Christmas, filled with materialism and consumerism, can easily distract us from the true joy that comes from reflecting on God's gift to humanity. If we're not careful, we can find ourselves rushing through the season without ever taking the time to truly meditate on the miracle of Christ's birth. But here's the good news. We can choose to keep Christ at the center of our celebrations. This might mean starting Christmas morning with a moment of prayer, reading the story of Jesus' birth from Luke 2, or even taking time to serve others as a way of honoring him. Remembering the true meaning of Christmas doesn't require elaborate traditions or grand gestures, just a heart that desires to reflect on Jesus' incredible gift of grace. The second thing Christians should never do on Christmas is neglect to serve others. Christmas is, at its core, about giving, not just in terms of gifts, but in serving others, especially those who are struggling. Jesus himself came not to be served, but to serve. He came into the world as a humble baby, born in a manger, to teach us the value of selflessness. During the holiday season, it's easy to focus on what we're going to get or how much we can give to our loved ones. But we must also remember those who are less fortunate. Serving others, whether through charity, volunteering, or simply being there for someone in need, aligns our hearts with God's purpose for this season. Remember, Christmas is not just about what's under the tree, but about how we reflect God's love to the world around us. The third thing Christians should never do on Christmas is let consumerism dominate the holiday. Christmas shopping, decorations, and elaborate meals are a part of the season, but they should never become the main focus. The pressure to spend more, buy bigger, and outdo last year's celebrations can take away from the true joy of Christmas. When we get caught up in the frenzy of consumerism, we risk losing the peace and contentment that comes with focusing on Christ. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves overwhelmed by the long lists of gifts to buy, the pressure to have the perfect home, or the stress of making sure everything is picture perfect? This type of stress steals away the joy of Christmas and shifts our focus from Jesus to stuff. As Christians, it's important to recognize that the most valuable gift we can give is not wrapped in shiny paper or tied with a bow. It's the gift of love, kindness, and service to others. The fourth thing Christians should never do on Christmas is ignore the opportunity to reflect on their personal faith. Christmas is not just a time to celebrate with others. It's also a time to reflect on our own walk with God. The birth of Christ is the ultimate reminder of God's love for us, and it should lead us to examine our hearts and lives. In the midst of all the festivities, take a moment to reflect on how you're growing in your relationship with Christ. Are there areas where you've become distracted or complacent? Are you allowing the season to draw you closer to Him? Or are you letting the busyness of the world pull you away? Christmas is a perfect time to pause and reflect on God's goodness in your life and recommit to following Him in the coming year. The fifth thing Christians should never do on Christmas is neglect prayer and worship. In the rush of Christmas activities, it's easy to forget the importance of taking time for personal prayer and worship. But remember, Christmas is about Jesus, and we should be making time to honor Him, even in the busiest of seasons. Whether it's singing a Christmas hymn, setting aside quiet moments to pray, or attending a Christmas Eve service, make sure you're prioritizing worship as part of your Christmas celebration. Prayer and worship not only bring us closer to God, but they also help us to maintain the right perspective during the holiday season. When we center ourselves in Christ through worship, we are reminded that He is the reason we celebrate, and we're able to focus on the true joy of Christmas, His gift of salvation. The sixth thing Christians should never do on Christmas is lose sight of family and relationships. Christmas is an opportunity to gather with family, friends, and loved ones. But all too often, it can be overshadowed by the stress of holiday preparations or the distractions of technology. The time spent with family and friends during Christmas is precious, and we should cherish these moments. Take time to slow down, connect with those you love, and reflect on the blessings of the season. The relationships we have with others are a reflection of God's love for us, and Christmas is the perfect time to nurture those bonds. Instead of letting the holiday pass by in a blur of events and obligations, prioritize the people who matter most and create meaningful memories together. The seventh thing Christians should never do on Christmas is miss out on sharing the gospel. Christmas is one of the most powerful times to share the message of Jesus with others. The story of Christ's birth is a story of hope, joy, and salvation. And it's something that everyone should hear, whether it's through a conversation with a neighbor, a gift that shares the love of Christ, or an invitation to a church service. Don't let this Christmas pass without sharing the reason for the season. Christmas is the perfect opportunity to spread the gospel message to those who may not yet know Christ. The birth of Jesus is a reminder that God came to earth for us, and we should never pass up an opportunity to invite others to experience that same love and grace. Sharing the gospel isn't about forcing beliefs on others. It's about offering the gift of Christ to those who might need it most during this season of hope. By keeping these 7 things in mind, we can ensure that this Christmas season is one that honors God and reflects the true meaning of the holiday. Let's remember the purpose of Christmas, to celebrate the birth of our Savior and to share His love with the world. But here's the challenge. With all the distractions, how do we stay focused on Christ? How do we avoid letting the season of joy turn into a season of stress and distraction? It's easy to get caught up in the expectations, whether it's the need to have the perfect family gathering, the perfect gift, or the perfect holiday decorations. We often end up measuring our worth and the success of the holiday by the things we can see, touch, and compare to others. And that's when Christmas can start to feel more like a burden than a blessing. The pressure of making everything perfect can cause us to lose sight of what truly matters. Instead of feeling joy and gratitude for the gift of Jesus, we end up feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. We may find ourselves resenting the holiday rush or even the people around us. At times, it feels like we've lost the peace and purpose that Christmas should bring. But the truth is, Christmas isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Being present with the people you love. Being present in your relationship with God. And being present in the moment. The challenge isn't about getting it all right. It's about remembering the purpose behind everything we do. Whether we're shopping, cooking, or gathering with loved ones, we can keep our hearts aligned with the purpose of the season by slowing down, focusing on the simple joys, and intentionally choosing gratitude over stress. If you're feeling like Christmas is slipping away from you, take a step back and breathe. Allow yourself to pause, pray, and reflect on what truly matters. It's not too late to adjust your focus. You don't have to have the perfect holiday to have a meaningful one. It's about making space for Christ in the midst of everything else. Don't let the chaos of the season steal your joy. Instead, let the peace of knowing Jesus is with you be your guiding light. The good news is that you don't have to navigate this alone. When you turn to God for guidance, He will help you center your heart on Him. Christmas is about remembering that God loved us enough to send His Son to earth. Let that be the foundation of your celebrations, and let it guide how you spend your time, how you serve others, and how you reflect on your own faith. One of the most powerful ways to stay grounded in the true meaning of Christmas is through prayer and worship. It's easy to get so caught up in the hustle and bustle that we forget to take time to reflect on the birth of Jesus and what it means for our lives. This Christmas season, don't neglect your spiritual connection with God. Instead of only focusing on the busy tasks ahead, create space for moments of prayer, worship, and reflection. This might mean setting aside time before you start your day to thank God for the gift of Jesus, or incorporating worship music into your holiday routine. Maybe it's taking a moment before the Christmas meal to pray with your family and thank God for the blessings He's given. Prayer isn't just something to do before meals or at bedtime. It's an opportunity to invite God into the middle of our Christmas celebrations. It can be easy to get distracted by the gifts we're giving and receiving, but prayer helps us focus our hearts back on Christ. If you're feeling overwhelmed, try taking a deep breath and quietly reminding yourself of God's love and the peace that came to earth with Jesus' birth. When we center ourselves in prayer and worship, we can approach Christmas with hearts full of gratitude, joy, and peace, qualities that are often lost in the chaos of the season. Worship during Christmas can also go beyond just singing songs in church. While singing Christmas carols can be a wonderful way to celebrate, worship can also happen in the quiet moments when you simply reflect on the incredible story of Jesus' birth. Think about the humility of a king born in a manger. Let that fill your heart with awe and wonder. and let it stir a deeper appreciation for God's love and His plan for our salvation. As you reflect on the season, take the opportunity to worship in your own way, whether it's through acts of service, spending time in nature, or having quiet moments of personal prayer. It's easy to get distracted by everything that demands our attention, but choosing to slow down and spend time with God is a way to honor Him and keep our hearts focused on what truly matters. Another important aspect of Christmas that often gets overlooked is the opportunity to reflect on our personal faith. Christmas is a time of great joy and celebration, but it's also a chance for us to check in with our own spiritual journey. How are we growing in our relationship with God? Have we been distracted by the busyness of life? What changes can we make to deepen our faith and become more like Christ? Taking time during the Christmas season to reflect on these questions allows us to renew our commitment to following Jesus. It's easy to get caught up in traditions and celebrations, but Christmas is also a season for introspection. As you look back on the year, consider how God has been at work in your life and how you've seen His faithfulness. Christmas is an opportunity to rededicate your heart to Him, to reflect on what He's done, and to express gratitude for His presence in your life. Spending time in prayer and reflection will also help you avoid the trap of neglecting your relationship with God. When everything around us is in motion, it can be hard to focus on our personal faith. But this season, make an intentional effort to connect with God in deeper ways, whether that means journaling your thoughts, having quiet moments of reflection, or discussing the true meaning of Christmas with loved ones. Use this season to grow closer to the Lord. The truth is, Christmas isn't just about a single day of celebration. It's about a season of remembering, worshiping, and living out our faith. By prioritizing prayer, worship, and reflection, we can make sure that this Christmas season brings us closer to God and helps us grow in our faith, all while keeping Christ at the center of it all. As we continue through the Christmas season, one of the most important things to remember is to not lose sight of family and relationships. Christmas is about more than just the gifts, the food, or the decorations. It's about the people we love and the community we're a part of. However, with everything going on during the holidays, it's easy to forget the value of these relationships in the midst of all the hustle. Think about it. How many times do we rush through the Christmas season, trying to get everything perfect, without truly investing in the people around us? We get so focused on the shopping list, the parties, and the Instagram-worthy moments that we sometimes forget the importance of just sitting down with loved ones and enjoying the gift of time together. Christmas isn't about perfect moments. It's about creating memories, strengthening bonds, and nurturing relationships. Spending quality time with family and friends during Christmas is an expression of God's love. Jesus came to bring us into relationship with God and with each other. And what better way to honor His birth than by nurturing our own relationships? If you're feeling caught up in the stress of everything, remember that your loved ones are what make this season truly special. Whether it's sharing a meal, having a quiet moment by the fire, or simply laughing together, these are the moments that matter most. Taking the time to invest in family relationships can also help combat the loneliness that sometimes creeps in around the holidays. For some, Christmas can be a difficult season, especially if they're far from family or experiencing loss. As Christians, we're called to reach out to those who may feel isolated. Even a small act of kindness, a phone call, an invitation to spend time together, or a simple text to let someone know you're thinking of them can make a world of difference. This holiday season, prioritize the people around you. Make sure you're not so focused on the logistics of the holiday that you miss the chance to truly connect with the people who matter most. Christmas is a time to build and strengthen those relationships. Make it a point to slow down and really be present with the people you love. Whether that means putting the phone down, stepping away from the to-do list, or simply saying no to some of the chaos in order to say yes to quality time with family and friends. Another important thing to remember is that Christmas is also an opportunity to share the gospel. The story of Jesus' birth is a story of hope, peace, and salvation. And Christmas is the perfect time to invite others into that story. For many people, Christmas is a time when they are more open to hearing about the true meaning of the season, whether it's through a conversation, a Christmas card with a verse, or inviting them to a church service. Sharing the love of Christ doesn't always have to be done in a formal setting. It can happen in small, everyday ways. We should never miss the opportunity to remind others of the gift that Jesus offers. Whether you're sharing the Christmas story with a friend, explaining the deeper meaning of the holiday to a child, or even just inviting someone who may not regularly attend church to come with you on Christmas Eve, you're extending the gift of the gospel to them. This is the ultimate way to celebrate Christmas, by helping others experience the true reason for the season. Sometimes, we can get so wrapped up in the social aspects of Christmas, the decorations, the food, the fun, that we forget that Christmas is a prime opportunity for evangelism. People are often more open to discussing their faith during the Christmas season. And it's a chance to gently share the good news of Christ's birth and his purpose for coming to the world. This season can be a reminder of God's love for the world. And the best way to honor Christ's birth is by sharing his love with others. The truth is, Christmas isn't just about us. It's about the world. It's about making sure that the message of Jesus reaches beyond our own family and circle of friends. It's about serving others, sharing the gospel, and living out the love that Christ has shown us. So, as you celebrate this Christmas, don't forget to open your heart to others and take every opportunity to share the hope that we've found in Jesus. As we wrap up this discussion, it's crucial to remember that Christmas is not just another holiday. It's an invitation to align our hearts with the heart of God. The world around us will continue to offer distractions, materialism, and the pressure to conform to its version of the season. But as Christians, we have a unique opportunity to reclaim the true meaning of Christmas and make it a time of worship, reflection, and connection with others. We've covered the 7 things Christians should never do on Christmas, and it all boils down to one key takeaway: keeping Christ at the center of everything. If we're not intentional about staying focused on him, the world will quickly pull us into its fast-paced, consumer-driven holiday frenzy. But when we make room for Jesus, through prayer, worship, reflection, serving others, and sharing the gospel, Christmas becomes more than just a season. It becomes a powerful reminder of God's love and his desire to be with us. Take this Christmas as a time to reconnect with the core of what it means to follow Christ. Reflect on his birth, his life, and his ultimate sacrifice for us. As we celebrate, let's do so with hearts full of gratitude for the incredible gift of Jesus. And let's remember that our purpose during this season is not just to receive, but to give. Give love, give time, and give the gospel to those who need it most. Make Christmas a time of worship, where you intentionally set aside the distractions of life to honor Christ. Make it a time of family, where relationships are prioritized, and you invest in those around you. Make it a time of reflection, where you renew your commitment to following Jesus in every area of your life. And make it a time of sharing the good news of Christ, so that others can experience the hope and joy we have in Him. This Christmas, let's focus on the things that truly matter, the things that last for eternity. Don't let the season slip by without taking time to reflect on the most important gift ever given, the birth of Jesus Christ. If this video has helped you refocus on the true meaning of Christmas, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll dive into practical ways to make your holiday season even more meaningful through faith. Whether it's creating new traditions or deepening your relationship with God during the holidays, there's always more to explore. Don't miss out on the next step in making this Christmas season one that honors Christ in every way.